I have poker face in my head for some reason. Not for some reason, because I just heard it in the car, but... Welcome back to WandaVision. This is wrong. Everything is wrong. We're gonna... This is episode 8. It's called Previously On. And previously on WandaVision, we had seen... pretty much just Agatha all along, right? Like that's the big beep. It was like Modern Family, Office, that kind of era, Parks and Rec, of sitcom. Vision had gotten what's Darcy on the side, so she knows everything that's going on now. Monica got her powers. She's in there. I did see the post-credit scene. I didn't realize there was one, so I didn't record it, but I saw it eventually. So Monica is going after Agatha and Wanda. However, Quicksilver is there. Pietro, I should say. And Pietro looked like he had purple eyes, I believe. I only saw it once, so I can't remember exactly what happened. But I think Pietro had purple eyes, and I think he was trying to get Monica too. By extension, like mind control-y. So we'll see if, we'll see if that comes to pass, if they're all mind controlled or what's going on now. Where are the kids? Jimmy's outside. Like there's all these memes going around, like Jimmy's calling up Ant-Man being like, help, Scott, all my friends are in the hex. Anyways, this is probably the first time I've been not, besides first episode obviously, but like since the first couple episodes that dropped, this is probably the first time I've been like pretty spoiler free. I haven't seen anything big. I've actually been pretty good about like not checking out things on Twitter, and people have been pretty good about not saying it, at least, or if they do say it, I've been able to like skip past before they actually say something. So yeah, I think I'm gonna go into this episode pretty blind, see what happens. I'm very excited. Let's get into this episode. I'm going to stop talking. Stop. I have gotten sleep. I just am not in a good mental spot. That's wrong with me. Is this Agatha Origins? And that's what I'm wondering, because my research, she seems to like a good guy, so I don't know what happened, if they're changing her to be evil, or if she's really not evil here, after all. Ooh. Okay, but like, if the whole team didn't do it, what makes you think you can do it? Okay? Oop. Why do they keep mentioning that?
He is on another continent. Not to mention full of holes. But you're so crippled by your own self-doubt that you believed it.
I thought we were getting some answers.
Thousands of
Ew.
people under your thumb.
That's not scary, it's just gross.
According to complex.
So she is kind of teaching Wanda, though. They're keeping that from the comics. Like, she's a mentor figure. Ow.
Get some real reruns.
Ooh. Flashbacks? Memories? This better not be. Oh my god. This is literally now. Oh, I feel like the missile. I knew it was coming, and I still got shot. God, they really lingered there for a second. I was like, okay, maybe it's just a nice scene. Either way, like, shit, we're actually seeing what she's talking about in Ultron. There it is.
Did you stop that bomb?
What?
Used a probability hex.
No,
I'm not. What? Oh. I was gonna say I'm not talking a lot during this episode, but interesting. Oh, wait. She learned. What
happened in there?
She took a little death drop. She said. He'd be dead. That's. I don't know how I feel about funny Vision. Like, I like movie Vision better than than this show Vision. It feels like a tonal difference. Ooh, the sword compound. I was just about to say, are we gonna see it?
I got it. Thanks.
Okay. So she technically didn't barge in and steal the corpse just yet, you know. It's a misunderstanding with the door here. Let's see how she goes about this conversation. What did you think was gonna happen when you showed Wanda this?
Not everyone has the kind of power that could bring their soulmate back online. Forgive me. Back to life.
No, I can't do that.
So,
Why does Hayward
the
think
best
she
I
can do
do
that?
is let Wanda.
Okay, those sword
He's
outfits are
yours.
kind of very tacked together. I saw like the tape. Cause he seems like chill here, but the Hayward we've seen so far is very awake and like, she's a terrorist. So she didn't take the body. There's the mailman. People have been talking about him being important somehow. What the fuck happened? I'm waiting for like a... Is that his last will, maybe? The letter? Something about this building spot? This lot? So that's not even his body. Wait, she's literally making Vision. Wait, what? I'm so confused. Because where does Agatha come into picture then? Oh. Ma'am?
I know what you are.
Hey. Whoa, 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 whoa. They can get out. They can get out of that. Come on. It's not that tight. Like, there's so much space.
That makes you the Scarlet Witch.
Yay. I knew they were going to say it. It was so fucking obvious she was going to say it. Especially because, yeah, I mean, we're gonna look for freaking post-credit scene first. Oh, there is. Okay, so you got some explaining to do, sir. What the fuck happened?
Ready, sir.
Oh. Let's start at the back because it's sometimes easier to talk that way. If that is, so I got that was the actual corpse of Vision because she never took his corpse. She spontaneously created, and that's what Agatha said. She said she had the power to spontaneously create, and it's chaos magic and all that stuff. We'll get into that in a second. So with this Vision, is he fresh or is he just? Basically, it's the question of if you take car parts from one car and give it to another car, is it the same car or is it a new car? So I'm assuming they have, he said that they reassembled Vision or whatever. So is that the same Vision in as far as like memory and knowledge and everything? Or is this like a new thing, because yeah, like I don't know. And if it is the old Vision come back, then what does that mean for new Vision that is spontaneously created? And there's one episode left to figure all this stuff out. I don't know about that. Okay, Hayward, what the fuck is he doing? It feels like a different person because the Hayward that we have seen in the current, like that last end credit scene, that Hayward thinks Wanda's a terrorist. She should be stopped. Yada yada. It's all bad, evil. Blah blah blah. So, what? Either he was putting on a front when Wanda came to Sword and want to talk to him, or see Vision. He's being all nice and stuff. So either that's him acting for whatever reason to get the power source from Wanda so that he could activate Vision or something, or it's a different person pretending to be Hayward, because personality wise they're complete opposites. Hayward there seemed like a little bit of an ass still, but he wasn't like overtly like fuck you. He was just kind of like, you wanted to see your husband, this is what I can do. It seemed very much like he was by the books, but he wasn't like, screw your shit. So either that was just, there's two theories. I could see either way going at this point. One is Hayward really is a bad guy, and he was just pretending this whole time. He wanted to get Vision activated basically, and so to do that, he made her go loco. Got a little bit of power source finally through all the shenanigans. Or there's two Haywards, and something happened to the nice guy Hayward, and now we're stuck with this Hayward that seems to want to fight with Vision or something. I don't know. Interesting stuff. Chaos magic. Again, I don't know what that means. Like I know there's games where I've had chaos magic, specifically Guild Wars, I believe. There's like different types of magic. So there's elemental, there's like necromancy, there's like healing, and then there's chaos is sort of like one of the other ones, and it's sort of like about illusions and stuff, like kind of the stuff that she's doing basically. So I know from other media what chaos magic means, but I don't know what it specifically means here, especially if it's Agatha, who seemed to be, again, from what we've seen, a very different person. In the flashback they showed at the beginning of this episode, Agatha seemed like the classic case of she dug too deep. She was tampering some magic she couldn't control or something. She seemed like, but she didn't like seem overtly evil either. And then we get to this part where she's like very, again, mentoring and trying to figure out the truth and everything, explaining the basics of magic and stuff. But then she seems to think that Wanda is like the true evil. So what happened? Is it just a matter of perspective? Did she come to, embrace the light or something? What happened where she was being burned at the stake, for lack of a better term, burned at the stake back in Salem, and now she's the one trying to find, trying to say you're doing the wrong magic. So interesting parallel there, but I don't really understand fully why that happened. Again, I like the reveal of the Scarlet Witch, that it's sort of some sort of mythological being. I feel like they didn't really explain it still. I think, and I lied at the beginning, I did get spoiled a little bit, I guess, because someone mentioned something about retcons in Twitter, but I didn't really understand what it meant. I can see what they're talking about now with, I guess they're retconning, quote unquote. I don't know if it's technically a retcon, but a soft retcon, I guess, of how Wanda got her powers. Agatha is seeming to explain to us that she always had powers, and that the Mind Stone basically just amplified things and moved things along. She was always the Scarlet Witch, and then the Mind Stone kind of just gave her the push she needed to fully embrace it or something. I don't mind it. It's an interesting thought to play with. It makes me wonder if that's their excuse for getting mutants. I don't know if we're gonna get mutants from it. Like at this point, I don't even know if mutants are going to be related to Scarlet Witch at all. I think a lot of theories had been around, will the mutants show up here in some sort of way? Is this going to be the birth of mutants? Because obviously she has a famous storyline regarding mutants, and famously is a mutant. And I can see that if they are doing this retcon where maybe she was a mutant to start with, and then the Mind Stone amplified her. Obviously, whatever, yada yada. But like Agatha was saying, she always had powers, and maybe that was her mutant power, was whatever. I can see that retconning it, in which case maybe other people have powers that they don't really fully have control of yet until they're somehow exposed to something. If Wanda is able to spontaneously create stuff, maybe she's able to amplify people that would have a metagene kind of thing. But again, at this point, it's a coin toss if mutants are going to be involved in this plot line at all. So, but I'm just saying, as far as their explanation going for Wanda, I could see that being a nice. It's a way I didn't think of, really. I mean, I kind of did. I was thinking there's already people out there that have struggles and stuff, and then, you know, she sort of gives them their powers. So it's kind of what I was saying, where somehow she's the catalyst, basically. I'm trying to think of like a better way to explain it, but you know, like basically everyone always had mutant powers. It's just very minute and maybe inaccessible. You know, something about their DNA was different, but they didn't quite know what to do with it. Spoilers for Sense8 coming up. Since I'm watching it in my friend's Discord, we're watching it every week. It's very fun. Anyways, the basic premise of that show, if you haven't seen it, is basically there's another species of human similar to mutants that are, you know, mutants are Homo superior or whatever, but there's basically in Sense8 there's another species of human that can psychically like connect to 7 other people in the world, and they all share thoughts and experiences and bodies at times. But basically the thing that I'm trying to draw parallels to is they were always destined to be a certain way. So a couple times in the series they get like brain scans done, and basically they're saying like, oh, the cleft, so your brain is separated into a left and a right hemisphere, right? The Sense8s are one hemisphere basically, or like it's not hemispheres, it's one clump. There's no divider. So I'm wondering if and so in Sense8 these people showed signs of that even before they officially unlocked their powers, basically. So in regards to this show, maybe there's people that already have a different strand of DNA, and so they are Homo superior, they are mutants, whatever, they have the metagene, and then Wanda somehow is the one to kickstart them into activating it, you know, basically turning on the switch. Yeah, just makes you want. Again, this is just if mutants are going to be a thing in this. I don't know at this point. It's really cool seeing the past events that we've seen or we've heard about in Age of Ultron specifically. How, again, like I was saying, are we going to see the missile drop in the 2 days? I was like confused if it was a couple days or a couple weeks, but you know, it was such a vivid memory that she had that I remembered. It was a thing that happened, and so it was cool to see it relived in real time and not just like a story. It was cool to sort of flesh that out more and sort of see what had happened. Same with the Mind Stone thing. Yeah, interesting stuff. And just going back to Agatha again, I don't know how to feel about her. It was nice that they did show homage. Okay, I'm obviously not a Marvel purist because I don't know who the fuck these people are, but I love it when media pays homage to it. You know, I'm cool with them taking liberties and, you know, straying from the path a little bit. You know, obviously I'm a big fan of the Snyderverse, so you know, I'm definitely not saying don't follow the comics. You know, Snyder definitely is doing his own thing with a twist, but he's also being loyal to the subject matter. So that's what I'm appreciating here, is that even if Agatha is a villain, which it looks like at this point she probably is a villain, at least she's an antagonist, I should say. She does, because right now she's painting Wanda as the villain, but she's the antagonist to Wanda. But at the same time, she is playing a very mentor, instructor kind of role by explaining, you did some probability magic here, and then protection spell here. Like she's explaining all these different types of magic. So it's really cool that she's, even if she is trying to fight Wanda and all this stuff, at the same time she is sort of partially for the audience, partially for Wanda, explaining the basics of magic, because Wanda right now is basically untrained. Doctor Strange knows more magic than she does, so it's cool to see again that mentor figure come in. But also with Agatha, I said earlier, I'm just confused about how in the past she was like basically the Antichrist, coming up. I didn't mention it, but it felt very similar to Doctor Strange, and I was the classic story of digging too deep, because him and the Grandmaster or whatever, they were sort of doing the same thing of going into time dilation, not time dilation, manipulation. Sorry. That was supposed to be like the dark forbidden arts or whatever. That was sort of a big thing of that movie. It was, using bad, whatever, no magic for good purposes and all that stuff. So then if we have a character like Agatha, who again is sort of going into these magics that are forbidden for whatever reason, but then by the end of the episode she says that Wanda is using forbidden magics and she's okay, Agatha is okay to use magic, but Wanda can't. So it's all interesting stuff, and I'm digging the parallels between this story and Doctor Strange, especially because Doctor Strange is going to continue on whatever is going on here. Not in the way that I was thinking, but it's some nice little threads that are, we'll see how this wraps up next week, obviously. But yeah, I'm just very excited. Again, maybe our reaction wasn't as visceral this episode, but it was a lot of things to think about. Just a lot of cool stuff to finally see the magic, literally, but also figuratively, like seeing what happened, sort of getting the curtain revealed, and this is how we started out, and this is what happened with Sword. But there's still obviously some plot holes, like again with Sword, what the fuck happened with Hayward, what's going on with Agatha, where did maybe I was supposed to pick that up, but where does Agatha jump into this sitcom verse? Because from what we've seen, Wanda just spontaneously starts it, and then we're in the first episode, but Agatha's already in the first episode. So was Agatha just in the zone at the time and just like, whoa, this is weird, and then eventually breaks her control of it or whatever? There's just, like I said, there's just some questions left over still, and I'm just hoping that we'll get them answered by this next finale. Obviously, there's going to be plot threads going into Doctor Strange 2, but I'm just hoping at least we get some closure and some finality, and as far as this story arc goes, with Wanda, Agatha, the kids, Vision, all that stuff. Maybe not Wanda, I guess, but everyone else. I kind of want to see some wrapping up of storylines with everyone else. But Wanda, I think, maybe the kids, they'll probably go over to Doctor Strange 2. Monica going to Captain Marvel, all that stuff. Anyways, I'm gonna stop talking. Thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments down below if I missed stuff. Big episode today. Big episode. I think this is gonna be our longest one. We'll see. This is my longest discussion or not. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the finale next week. Bye.